Hello, the Grand Observer here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while again since my last video, but that's what happens when you're a busy man. Very busy am I. Alright, first of all, good news for everyone, or fun news. I have Kingdom Hearts 3. I pre-ordered it, so actually I have every game in the set now, except for some of the older ones. I missed the or lost my DS game of 2,256 games in 7. Yeah, but I have complete faith that I have it. But first of all, here's what all came with it: an art book. One second, I have the art book with me. An art book, this beautiful thing. Not really going to show you too much because who knows, copyright. But pretty cool, huh? And that cloth poster, I don't remember what it's specifically called, but I love cloth posters. They are so much better than paper posters. For one, they last twice as long and could last forever in a sense. It came with a extra case, a platinum case, if you pre-ordered. Sadly, I'm just bragging because who knows what happened. Got it. And it came with this little beauty. A pin, which I pinned all 3 of the pins, maybe 4, but I didn't get the pre-order the first game, so I didn't get the first out of 4 pins. But I have 3 out of 4 if there was a 4th or first in that first one. Beautiful, aren't they? Personally, I would honestly keep them on here because I've never had pins, and these are beautiful. Makes me feel robust, if you could say. But either way, I came to talk about Kingdom Hearts, its ups and downs. Which, personally, I don't think there's really too many downs. First of all, let's start off with the worlds. There are, okay, that's 4, 8, 9 worlds to go to. To be exact, 6, but, not 6, 10, but the 10th world is small, very, very small. It's Pooh's world. We go see Winnie the Pooh again for the 3rd time, strangely enough. But that's not what the problem. That world was always small. It was only really big in probably the 1st and 2nd game. The worlds are certainly huge. If you, it's very cutscene heavy, which is actually quite fine for me because I love cutscenes, movie in a sense. Which is very good because it tells the story a lot better, in my opinion. And you should see them if you haven't gotten the game. Either way, you should get it. The worlds are beautiful. They're huge, hardly any load screens, just like they said in the interviews and stuff. It is easily one of the best games of the year. Yeah, how huge the scales, the characters, the models, the worlds aren't just huge, they're exceptionally designed, beautiful artwork. Looks just like you're in the world itself. Which is even very harder because one of the worlds, everyone already knows it. Pirates of the Caribbean! We can go back to that world again. Based on the 3rd movie this time. So, which is quite fascinating to me because they really made it look even more realistic this time. And that there's one Heartless that is certainly creepy looking in that world. Which you fight him really quick, real soon after you get in that world. Fun fact about some of the worlds: you don't actually have full involvement in some of the worlds. Such as You go to Arendelle, the home of Anna and Elsa. Let it go, can't hold it back anymore. Sorry, I had to sing that because you don't have direct involvement in really much. You meet Anna and Elsa, you help put Olaf back together, but you don't really have much in the story part of it. You see what happens though. But what fun is they managed to put in a part of Do You Wanna Build a Snowman? And they put in Let It Go, the iconic song, the full song by the way, and almost exactly like the movie. They even got her hair going through her arms still if you look closely enough, which is brilliant. It makes it just like the movie. It's like you're playing through the movies, not just playing with the characters, which is actually pretty good considering you don't have a huge involvement in that story in a sense. You don't even have a huge involvement in Pirates of the Caribbean, regrettably. You help protect the Black Pearl from the Heartless once, but then you don't have much else. But in the end of it, and by the way, spoilers, if you haven't played the game and you were planning to, you are in place of Will's dad trying to stop Davy Jones from killing Will. It's quite amusing. It's clever. They so smoothly integrated that we are the person that are stopping Davy Jones from killing Will, because we Doofy and Donald, Donald and Goofy, and somehow merged those two words, those two's names. Donald, Goofy, and Sora jump on the back of Davy Jones just like his father did. His father did. And then we get knocked off, and he says the exact same line, the exact same way. You will not forestall my judgment! Imagine me with a squiggly tentacle beard. Nevertheless, yeah, it's a beautiful world too, and actually one of my favorite worlds because not only that, you get to even though you have limited business during the story, you get to pilot your own ship. That's one of my favorite parts about that. Fire the cannons! Aye aye, Captain! You actually get your own ship too, part of the way through, which is beautiful. Much better than Black Pearl in my opinion. But that aside, that's not the only fun part when it comes to ships. The gummy ships were reinstated beautifully too. It's like an open world map when it comes to the gummy world. Like in number 2, they integrated number 1 gummy ships with with game 2 gummy ships, where you had the free range, but the arcade part. That's how they integrated Kingdom Hearts 2. Integrated gummy ships into Kingdom Hearts 3, which was magnificently done. Bosses, levels, and so many more gummy ships than before, and not to mention making your own original models. Beautiful, I say. Let's see. Another thing. There were so many extras, and I actually finished the game in 33 hours, which is a day and a half, basically. In my opinion, here's the difference. I finished the base game, something that people don't really understand. A game is a base game. Everything else is extra. So you finish the base game, but you haven't completed the full game until you've gotten all the extras, everything found, etc., etc. So I'm working on trying to do that, but in standard mode, because I went in easy mode to breeze through it to see everything, because I was so excited. And maybe I'll go back and do hard mode and might try and find a way to stream that, but it was beautiful. The opening song, though, that is a downside. It wasn't like Sanctuary or what was the other song? I know the other song. You're giving me Too many things, and then simple and clean. That's what it was. I have to remember the lyrics. That's why I was singing it a little that time. But it just seemed more like a remix again, and to me, that was a little bit of a letdown. I was hoping for an epic song, a new epic song, which wasn't too bad, but hey, that was only because there was the movie stuff going on with it, the cinematic. Oh, I forgot to show you the back of the art book. But yeah, the game has, hey, the other downs are again, spoilers. This is full of full of spoilers. The the black box that we see from Kingdom Hearts 2.8, that we see Luxus, Gary. Zigbai is Luxus, or Lucius, whatever his name is. But the problem is, we still don't know what's in that box! And we finally see the Lost Masters, aka the original foretellers. Except, anyone that played the Kingdom Hearts computer game, online game, she died. Ava died. To be honest, that's making me tear up. But some things just had to be done. Everyone had their roles to play after all. But because of that, but we only find that out in a secret ending, I think it is, then, which you have to unlock, which I did. But yeah, we don't know what's in the box, and it's killing me. And to know that Zigbar was one of the foretellers all this time. Makes one wonder what happened. And what the master was thinking. But, what else was there? What was another downside? Probably that we didn't fight Maleficent or Pete, even though they were there, but they were just characters, let's put it that way. Because they're iconic, but if we're not doing anything with them specifically, it's kind of a questionable. I do think the game's story did kind of bounce around between fighting Organization 13, a new one, because from Birth by Sleep, if I remember that correctly, or Dream Drop Systems, whichever one was in 2.8. I don't think they had the base story, but then there was some side stuff, aka like Roxas and Nominee stuff. They were trying to bring them back, which they succeeded. And they brought back Zemnis, Ventus, and Shion. Oh god, I missed her. She was such a fun person. And fun. And before I forget, something that I thought about a long time ago, if nobody's Heartless are one half of each other, what happens when Sora and Sora defeat each one? Huh? Just like the nobodies from Organization 13, the higher ups, they were actually getting their hearts returned naturally, so I don't know where their Heartlesses were doing, or what happened. But, if that's the case about once one hand is destroyed or defeated, that they can return to the original state, Sora, the Heartless aren't dying. The nobodies aren't dying. They're actually being reformed into one creature again, one person so who knows how many lost people there are in their worlds that know that there are more worlds now because they aren't in their original world. Such as Traverse Town, when the light in their original worlds went out, they somehow all fell into Traverse Town, safe home world, in a sense. It was just something I thought of a long time ago. Oh, well, not too long, maybe 2 weeks ago. Because it just, there's a question about that, you know? because we've already acknowledged that nobodies and heartless are one on half of a coin. So if we manage to put that back together, it's one thing again. I just had to preach to that, but Kingdom Hearts 3 is awesome. Hardly any downsides, a lot of ups. If you haven't gotten the game yet, I highly encourage it. Get Kingdom Hearts 3 and see for yourself. Well, that's it for the Grand Observer. Have a nice one, everyone.